So we are live, I think. Let's see. Excellent. Oh, yep. I think it says I'm good. I don't think I can see the. Well, I don't think it's supposed to have the fans. Anyway, I can't believe I haven't gone live on YouTube before. I did Twitch years ago. And then since then, it was my last time was stream and then retake. So that's all I've really been used to.
I haven't done anything. This
Not
is
even a
definitely.
TikTok, not even an Instagram.
I mean, I have Instagram, but like
You've never
streaming
gone
live, no.
live on it? Yeah, I wouldn't. Ew. All right, let me see. Sound off in chat if you're. Oh, yeah, I need to blast off on this too. Where do I go to find the YouTube share link? Go. Connect screen. Not seeing anything here. Oh, Alchemist live stream. Boom. I'm DCing you the live stream link. Yeah. And then I'll make a cast. Here, let me quote cast your update one. I'll do it into Scum, and then you do it into Politics, and then that'll be our blast off. Politics show number 1. Do you ever watch the Adam Friedland show?
Mm-mm. No, I have no idea who that is.
Dang. That's kind of what the Politics show sounds like to me. So I'll have to show you some Adam Friedland. He's interviewed and he's very memey, like YouTuber type thing. He got famous from being on a podcast called Come Town. So they kind of just yap and shit talk, and he actually did interview who's the politician with the dick name? Shoot, Boner? No, not Boner. Who am I thinking
Like
of?
Anthony Weiner?
Anthony
Is that what
Weiner.
you're
Thank
thinking
you.
of? Or
Thank you.
like Dick
He
Cheney?
had an episode. Oh, dang. All right. I didn't realize how hard that question would be. I thought there was only one.
There's probably a decent amount. Let's see. Hold on.
Probably
That's
a
a good
few
question.
dick politicians, not going to lie. Or at least a lot of Richards. But yeah, Anthony Weiner he had on Adam Friedland show. I bet you would like that episode.
There's a Peter Boner, who is a former Texas legislator.
Yeah, he sounds familiar. Oh, let me get some music jams in here while we're chilling. I won't do my red sun in the sky rising. I don't know if you've been on any of my streams, but that's a recurring meme is I play a lot of Red Sun. Do you know that song? The Chinese propaganda song
No.
that kind of went viral on the internet? No. Maybe I'll just play
No.
one.
I need to be deeper into the memes like you, internet culture.
Let me indoctrinate you. Yeah, we'll do Red Funk in the sky. Do you hear the music? Okay, let me try to share it with you on Discord then. Stream audio, share stream audio. Yeah, it says. don't know why you wouldn't be able to hear it then.
呀，红彤彤的，心中的太阳是毛泽东哎，他领导我们的解放哎，人民翻身当家做主人，一呀一自由呀自由啊，人民翻身当家做主人。
Yeah, that feels like way too much work that I would never be able to do successfully.
Oh man. Hold on. Let that play quiet. Anybody there? Oh, Dinero, Farcaster, Javaboo. Thanks for being here, brother. We got some chatters. Do you know Dinero? Does that sound familiar?
I know the PFP,
You
for
know
sure.
the PFP? It's usually how it is
Yeah.
when we're Farcasters. We leave behind all of our Web 2 apps and don't update any of the profiles.
Yeah, whenever someone like changes their profile picture, I just have no idea. Like they just disappear from existence for me.
Me all the time, like I change my clothes, I like changing my PFP. I just vibe with different things all the time. You should know me by name.
I do for you, for sure. There's a handful. I feel like we need to make a politics show like theme song, and then we can kick that off.
We
for
need
all the shows
we
going
need
forward.
politics show intro. We need politics show song. So yeah, what would the genre, like what would it kind of vibe like?
I don't know. We could like. I like old protest music. We could do like some Pete Seeger type vibe.
Peace Seeker, you said?
Yeah, Pete Seeger.
Oh, Pete Seeger.
Yeah.
You just made me think of Peacemaker and all the music that James Gunn puts into that show. I don't know if you watched that one.
Oh, I'm just like striking out with your references.
I know. I watch every. I'm so online. What here? Maybe the list is longer. What we don't have, but what do you watch?
I've been watching a lot of the Monsters, like the series, with like Ed Gein
Monsters?
right now. Yeah, it's on Netflix. Just like all of the serial killers. We've been doing that for
Okay.
October.
Docu-series type stuff,
kind
or
of.
was it like more historical fiction type thing?
It's like historical fiction,
Okay, like Mindhunter.
I think. I mean, it's like goes into detail of like the serial killers in their lives.
Because Mindhunter, that was like the first. It was like FBI department, the first. What were they like profiling? Because all these new serial killers were coming around, and so they had to develop like a new method of trying to investigate and narrow down the search because it seemed so random and impossible to find these guys. But then they realized psychoanalysis, profiling. That was kind of what that series was about. This song playing right now is actually from the Deprogrammed podcast, another political thing you definitely should check out because their stuff is good. They're more fun and degenerate, but very, very, very leftist. So if you're ever have some appetite for some of the other side of the spectrum, they're a good one. And then what's another? Another good political podcast, maybe the Deprogram. One Dime. Okay, you actually will enjoy One Dime
Oh my god.
just because his
That
politics are
syrup.
so
Oh
based,
my
and
lord.
he
Şarkı
doesn't
yazılan tüm
really
tatlar
like
kötü bence.
identifying as leftist,
siktir
as
lan.
socialist,
Ah,
but he's
siktir lan.
very interested in a lot of Marxism and a lot of Marxist theory, and he's masters in political. I forgot, but yeah, he's a really good channel to check out. One Dime, that would be the one for you.
Definitely check it out. You said One Dime?
One Dime. Hey, Space Force. I mean, if you like tankies, I can't really hang with Marxism and this TEH. What's up, Space Force? Does that sound familiar? Maybe it's horsebacks.
Maybe. I have no idea. Space Force.
Oh, shoot. Didn't even realize how long we were yapping. That wasn't 5 minutes, but we'll get right into it. Oh, and Rather? Oh, okay, that's my homie, Rather Mercurial. What's up? What's up? It's always good when the comrades come around to see you live.
Every single conversation, you're out in open sea. It's been so long, so either one, you choose your wallet or me. Better hope you're getting laid in Web3.
Are you still listening to the music? Chance.
No, there's too much listening to both of us. Like you twice.
I turned on it's I Don't Care About Your Crypto Boy TikTok song. I don't know if you remember that one. Oh, it was one of the best roasting bangers. I don't care about your crypto, boy. My wife was blasting that. Whew. But Java, there's been a whole lot of updates to politics now. We're here on the site. Why don't you give us a little intro on what we're thinking for the rebrand and for what chatters that are here live can expect?
Yeah, I mean, so we've been doing a lot, like between you, Thought Crime, AO, Ice Toad, like we are doing a lot of things behind the scenes. And I think like one of the things that we are kicking off, so this is the first politics show. And I think you and I have been having this conversation of like, how can we continue to grow outreach for the show? Like, how can we continue to further the discussions of politics? So this is going to be our attempt to do a weekly show where we are just kind of diving deep into what happened for the week, give everyone some updates, something that they can watch rather than just like getting the Gritzing updates that I have been posting. I'm excited about the show and then about kind of all the other things that we're going to be talking about later, but kind of what's your thoughts and vision for the show?
I'm having fun just imagining and dreaming of all the places we can go with the show and how all the little pieces of the blockchain tool belt are kind of set up perfectly aligned, I think, for this to be a truly kind of novel, different Web3 experience, opposed to what you get on Twitter, opposed to what you get on Reddit and TikTok, where it's either very insular and echo chambery, or it's very antagonist. It's very rage baiting, engagement maxing. Versus we can incentivize, and we know what we want to incentivize with Buster, using Cura, using other tools maybe coming to the future. There's just so much value to exchange. And this is one of those values where we get to deliver a whole lot of content. And maybe there's ways that the community, especially Politics Channel, maybe more politicos, but they get to choose topics or give us, whatever they want from the show out of it. That can just be another little utility that we weave into it.
I've already had conversations with people that are hoping to join future shows of some current politicos. I definitely think we could get like Perp on as well, and like definitely other like non-leftist
Yeah,
individuals.
we could
Nothing against,
try, but I don't
yeah,
know if we'll find any, unfortunately. We're everywhere, man. I have my friends everywhere.
yeah. I think what I'm excited about is in the future. I envision being able to invite people. So I come definitely from this like advocacy, nonprofit, grassroots organizing space, and I just have not seen any political shows or like podcasts where we're just like diving deep into like what people are actually working on. Like there's so many of us that are just dedicating years of our life. Like I have been working on childcare
Yeah,
for the past, I don't know, 15 years now, which is
yeah,
insane. Like there's so many of us that are just like working on criminal justice reform, and they are so deep into the weeds of like I think oftentimes we have these political conversations and it's like immigration's terrible or we need to fix the border. And like, yeah,
right.
sure. Like who disagrees with like we need to address the immigration? But like we're not talking about those like singular issues of like how are we addressing immigration? Like what are the potential concerns of implementing X policy?
Right.
So I have a decent amount of friends that work in like voting rights. So like what are they doing to actually further their work and make it easier for people to vote or criminal justice reform? There's one of my friends, he spends a lot of time trying to remove fees
Mm,
from the criminal justice system.
mm,
So if you get arrested, you don't have all these additional fees that really don't go back
right.
into kind of furthering the criminal justice system.
Yeah.
They're just like fees as roadblocks
Yeah.
and often costs more to collect the fees than what we even like
Yeah.
receive in that
Oh.
funding. So
Oh.
I think having those conversations of like how can we dive deeper into like what is the real life policies that people are working on,
Yeah.
like where's that change that we can be making rather than just like I know we're gonna get to some big topics but like the shutdown. I mean, yeah, it's big, but like it doesn't biggest thing in the world. Like there's so many other things going on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's I think we'll be able to dive into a lot. I think what's going to be fun, especially this is kind of the vibes that I've always felt from Politics Channel, is we're going to be able to exercise a lot more tension, a lot between my political views and yours, but the way we have those conversations where it is more like real in life person conversations. I think that's how I want the IRL to move closer to how URL political discussions happen, just like you do all the time. And you have all this experience in having years in your advocacy and us being able to kind of match those vibes where you definitely meet with people that maybe they're not degenerate lefties like me, but they're, super conservative, fundamentalist, right wing people, and you know how to have a conversation with those people, how to, and I think that's what I'm most excited for is crossing that political aisle and having those conversations. Another thing that you were talking about that made me think of this, if you cast about that kind of grassroots real life content, that IRL stuff that you're doing that is politics, not just like everyone loves to do, yap about headlines, yap about their opinions or whatever theories, that is just a lot of talk. I will commit a whole lot of tips to anyone who shows me how they're walking that political walk. I want to see a lot more of that content. I want to showcase it on our show. All that stuff. You will be rewarded because that's like what you were saying. That's more the vibes we want to pick up on. And I don't think you're going to get anywhere else, frankly.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's so much that we can do in politics. And I think like as we are continuing to build this show, and I think it's kind of something that I've been envisioning with politics overall, and as we're building Polycast and kind of this entire ecosystem that I think together we're spending way too much time trying to create. Of like, I can just envision you taking a position on Polycast and then going to another mini app and then contacting your legislator and
You're trying to influence
urging
that
them
prediction
to like,
market. Yep.
yeah, which I don't know, maybe
That's
we'll
I
see what blur lines those are, but like you're just
no, people are
advocating.
being more political. Oh, whatever will we do? And they're getting market incentivized like, "Oh, but whatever I'm for whatever gets people more engaged in democracy. Not every 2 to 4 years at polls, but everything in between those ballot measures and the ballot measures nobody knows about. This is what I hope to learn a lot from you about because I've been vicariously interested and principally aligned with local, county, township type stuff. What I would love, actually, this is kind of a big lore leak for where I want to take things in my digital community to IRL, but I want to get into urban planning and design and join city council meetings, get experience with that because I hate how everything is built. I hate how unwalkable everything is and that Houston can't have mass transit. We can't have public transit whatsoever. And that's the kind of stuff I see myself casting into politics. There's also Rather Mercurial is in chat go signing up for the IWW. They have a gig workers union that I want to take our creators union, and if you have more than 12 members, boom, you become a gig union. And so we'll work with IWW and post a whole lot of content about that, where you get the leftist side of things, and then for you, the kind of more centrist, everyday advocacy side of things. I say centrist and it feels derogatory when I say it, but what would you prefer to identify as?
Yeah, I just think I'm nonpartisan. I think
Nonpartisan,
centrist
liberal?
probably.
That has a dirty meaning now, but that's kind of
I don't know. I feel like I in this current moment probably give off a lot of like libertarian vibes. Like I feel so disenfranchised by political parties and just politics in general that like the more local we can get and like the less regulations we can put on people is where I feel like the most work needs to go.
right.
I think if you talk to me, I mean, depends on the issue.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yeah.
very for social goods. Like that's what I do
Yeah.
for a living. Like I think we need a safety net for people, but I don't love that. Like we're paying so much in taxes. Like I get that people hate taxes when they see that just as going towards corporate subsidies and paying for wars. So it's really hard for me to like feel like I'm on like a specific political
Right.
spectrum.
Right.
When we talk about squares, I can share what my square was, but yeah, I think it's like very up in the air of where I am, and but yeah, I'm not like an anarchist. Like I feel like we have to make moves within the system.
What? I don't know what you're talking about. Anarchy? Who would support something like that? No way. Now, I think for me, I think anarchy is the ideal. It's the what you work towards, but you have to go through so many stages of, maturing and evolving your democratic processes that saying you're an anarchist now is like saying I'm already in heaven. I already create the utopian vision where there is no oppression or class hierarchies or hierarchies of any kind, right? So I think that's the end of the road, even beyond communism. I think you go socialism, communism, anarchism. That's the final stage. And then we're probably chilling so hard that we end up forgetting how to do everything. And then, boom, full circle, humanity becomes primitivist all over again.
I mean, sounds great. but like that's I think I just am too scared of like the gamble. Like one,
Yeah.
if you lose, two, just like the human capital cost of doing something like that. I feel like it's so much easier just to mobilize within the system
Yeah.
and take our power back and really kind of drive change. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of hard work, and I think we just need to, yeah, like convince people that you can do it and show people the way, which, yeah, I think is where I'm hoping we can take this is that we can have like very in-depth political conversations, bring on some guests, have them share what they're doing, have them kind of share their why, and then share how to get involved. And if every guest like that we have, and as we continue to grow, that we can build this network of people that are trying to get involved, because I think that's in my view, is where we have failed politics, is that we don't teach civics in high school anymore. We don't. I mean, I think most people's civic education is
Yeah.
watching the "I'm Just a Bill" Schoolhouse Rock
Yeah.
kind of video, like way back when, and it just like doesn't show the way that you can really get involved, and it's so easy. But we can get into that in future
Yeah.
shows. But with the kind of going back to the question that you had of the politics rebrand, I think it kind of goes into the vision that we were just discussing, that we want to bring in those people that are kind of already in the weeds, that are working in politics, that aren't necessarily like the sideline watching from the couch and just sharing their hot takes or like their hatred on one side or the other, but where you're able to be like to actually have these political conversations that go a little bit deeper. Um, so I feel really bad. I kept like going back and forth, and I know the team kept having chats back and forth of like what this rebrand should look like, whether or not we should really kind of go heavy with Web3, or if we should kind of focus more on kind of getting rid of the political cat, the polycat, and like kind of branding down.
Right.
And that's the way that we went. Is I didn't feel comfortable reaching out to my political friends and being like, "Hey, check out the social media website that I'm working on,"
Yep.
and for them
Which
just to
that's
be
a
like
good sign.
inundated with this
Yeah.
cat.
Yeah. That's a
Um,
good sign. It's time to change.
So I think that's where we're going, and what we are doing with this kind of working with Kira, launching the new website. So if you go to polycast.xyz, that's what you have up right now. This is the kind of what we're trying to build. We're trying to build that community where good discussion and good faith discussions get selected and then rewarded, and we're using Kira for all of that. But there's been a lot of questions that we've had of kind of what we're about, how we're rewarding people. I think if you go to the R reward
Mhm.
system, um, one, we use Cura. If you have not yet, if you're casting into the politics channel and you haven't claimed Buster, I think, are probably the only social media site on the internet that you actually can get paid
Oh, look at that.
for your political contributions.
I got some
So yeah,
Buster
if
to
you
claim right there.
claim it. It's probably like $5 right now, maybe more depending on how much
And
you're casting.
I haven't even
But
been
it's something.
casting that much, and I still got some.
Yeah. Keep it, sell it, play Polycast with
Play
it. I think there's
Polycast
like
with it.
yeah, there's a lot of ways that you can use Buster, but on that website, on the Polycast, we go, if you keep scrolling down, there's a tokenomics of Buster. That's going to take you back to politics. You have to like
Yeah.
continue scrolling down. But that is one of the things that we've had a lot of questions on. We have a decent amount of wallets that are just holding a lot of Buster. And I think people are somewhat concerned of like buying into the politics system because we do have a lot of wallets holding it. But we are going over, like the website now shares like how we envision using that.
Right.
Like we are giving away the vast majority of this token. That's the vision for everything related to politics, is that it's really kind of community owned, community driven. And Cura is going to be helping us do a lot of that. We're going to be allowing people to start curating posts depending on what their leaderboard is. You'll be receiving the Buster. We're giving out special NFTs. There's a lot of things that we're trying to do just to kind of make that collaboration and improve it. And my thought was that this rebrand is the beginning for us to start doing outreach into the greater community. I know there's some concerns of whether or not we might lose what we have, because I think we do have a good community right now that is able to have good communication, but we need more daily active users.
Yeah.
Like we can't grow. You and I can't continue doing this unless we can start having thousands of people posting every day.
Yeah.
And people won't be coming onto the channel if they can't get the relevant news. We're starting to get that. If you can kind of get download of what's happening. But I still go to Twitter to know what's actually going on.
Right.
So that's the vision.
Ooh, okay. There might be a tiny intern that could do that for us. They just post into politics channel, maybe something. But that means we have to get some X API, and I do not like the idea of paying for that. But no, we just got to get the users doing it. Frankly, we don't need to take content from X. We'll just attract those people here. They aren't getting paid that much by Elon unless they're wearing very particular PFPs that do not attract the right kind of people. But I think politics can kind of become that. It's because Blue Sky, unfortunately, it's a little too woke. They're having a problem where they're locked into the user base that they have, and it's kind of a little bit set in stone. X, we don't got to talk about much further than that. Politics can be that real cross-pollination, that true, like it is in reality, political discussion and good faith debate, because that's not what you're going to get anywhere else.
I mean, there's still going to be people that are dunking on each other. Like, I don't have the...
They just don't have to be earning anything for it. That's what I think.
Yeah. And, like, with curing how Open Rank kind of curates the posts, I think it's going to do a good job, and we're betting big on them doing a good job kind of uplifting content that is helpful. It's in the future, but we're also going to be turning Buster at Filibuster into an AI bot in the future as well, because that's one of the things that is hard for us as mods to do, is to see, like, we see a lot of like the top level casts. We can see like, oh, this is a good cast or this is a bad cast, but we don't necessarily see the discussion that's happening. And that's where the value really is in politics, is like someone has a hot take, you respond, and if you can have that communication back and forth where it doesn't turn into this like screaming match, but you're able to communicate, this is why I believe, and this is why I believe it. These are the facts. I think right now we're in such of a like post-truth era, that your facts and my facts are different a lot of times, and who you believe is a trusted source is not necessarily who I believe is a trusted source. And if we're having a conversation going back and forth, I'm sharing my trusted source, you might hate it, but at least it's showing why I'm making this like informed decision. At least as informed as I can be at this moment. So that's the other thing that we're trying to build, is like,
I can see
if you can have a good like back and forth conversation, we will send you additional Buster, pay you for being that good replier, and holding that space correctly. And I think it goes back just to this like culture we're trying to build, and trying to hit it in so many different ways as possible, of recognizing you for your top level cast, recognizing you for your replies, recognizing you for when you have a hot take and then you wager Buster on Polycast. And
Yeah, I
prove
can see all
yourself
these
right or
different
wrong.
tiers to how much you can engage in politics channel. And when we incentivize and set the standards where these are the expectations and these are the rewards, you are just naturally going to grow more of that behavior. And with Farcaster, they've been struggling a little because replying doesn't bump up the original cast into anyone's discussion or into anyone else's feeds. So maybe there's something we can cook on with Cura where their feed is a little bit more discussion based. So at maybe they're in the new, we can also feature ones that are recently replied to. And then two with filibuster, dang, that sounds so one, it's easy. Your filibuster is just scanning the channel, looking for who's replying. And once it gets to a certain level thread, okay, I'm going to analyze this thread. Is it a debate thread? Are they just rage baiting and going in between? Okay, disregard, no rewards. No, I'm not going to comment or engage with it. But, and this can also determine how much tip there is in this reply discussion, and we can describe this on the website for people to know how do you have good political discussion when they're sharing sources, when their whole arguments are cordial and it's a coherent, cohesive kind of cast, and it's well articulated to be well received as well. It doesn't have an ideological bent. It's not a dunk. And man, yeah, I can just imagine, oh, make sure people, and that can kind of bring that Web 2 news and whatnot. And maybe that's another incentive for top level cast because everyone already does it, but sharing sources. So having that, and then maybe filibuster could have some sort of ground news type function where I can ask about the source and it'll give me some facts about who owns the media company, how much they lean whichever direction, what have they ever been wrong or have they been good about retracting false information, blah, 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 because everyone's going to be sharing sources of all different varieties and there will be new to come, right? And having that little filibuster where he's not like Grok, where we're trying to say, hey, filibuster, is this true? I don't think we need that kind of functionality. But if he's jumping into the reply threads and saying, oh my gosh, I love this discussion, here's some Buster tips. Or, hey, filibuster, what is this source that someone just sent me? Or, hey, what's a summary of what they just said? That kind of where you're contextualizing and making that discussion and conversation so much richer. And it's not a replacement. He's not replacing political casting. He's not replacing any kind of conversations or trying to, he's just complementing and recognizing those things he can. Oh, I like
Yeah.
it.
I mean, I think that's the vision. And I mean, currently, if you are having a good political conversation,
Yeah,
tag one of us and we'll
True.
send that person Buster. Like,
for real.
we are not, I'm not trying to keep the coin. I have a decent amount. Like, I'm just trying to give it away because what we need, like what we're building, I think is critical for us
Yeah.
to move forward. Like, there's so much like the dead internet theory. Like, I don't want to be debating AI bots about politics. Like, I want to like be discussing with a real person and have a conversation where, I mean, oftentimes I have conversations with some casters where I'm like, oh my god, I cannot believe you have that take. But at least I understand that people are having those takes.
Right.
And we're kind of gaining understanding of where we are overall as a channel, and then kind of at like culturally where we are. I mean, I think if it's with that purpose of like we're trying to grow together, we're trying to get involved together, we're trying to like have this deeper knowledge, I think we're going to be building something special.
Yeah.
That on top of like the politics book club that we've been having
Yep.
and those discussions, I think there's a lot of avenues that we can grow this into something that's not just another politics kind of
Community.
town hall,
Yeah.
but more of the community of like,
community based.
let's have these nuanced discussions, something that our politicians can't do. Like they're having them in back rooms, they're making discussions,
Yeah.
but publicly they're not able to do that. So like let's build a better political system.
Yeah.
And let's start with this. Yeah, that's our branding, kind of the reasoning behind it. We're still going to be using Buster, the Polycat, and kind of Polycast, and some of the other, like as you get deeper into the weeds. We're still giving away the Politicos, which you can now see the full list
Mm-hmm.
of Politicos on the website and see who we have recognized as people that are really driving the channel forward. But kind of that has been the vision, is it's time for us to really grow this thing. And I'm so grateful that you're doing it with me. I'm grateful for all the people that have been casting. And we're just, yeah, as a team, doubling down.
Yeah, and if you want to join our team, maybe consider picking up a big old bag of Buster, getting our attention that way, and we'll get you looped in. We'll get you working. Don't worry.
Yeah, or just reach out.
Just
You don't
reach
need to
out.
invest in. Once we get enough, like, I would love the market cap to go up, and I would love for this to be this huge thing. But community is going to be the first thing. Like, if we don't have people that are uplifting those values, it's just going to turn into another Blue Sky, or it's going to turn into Twitter.
Yeah.
And then we're all going to leave, and this hobby is just going to turn into a waste of time.
Yep.
So, yeah, buy into Buster if you like this vision.
If you want to
that, but,
support
like,
it, of course, and you're working with us, we will get that market cap pumping. Don't you worry. We will give all the rewards away, Degen communist style, to all Buster token holders. Don't you worry, people. You should definitely buy. This is a wise financial advice about investment. Take it to the bank.
You said it. Financial advice. Inside.
NFA DYOR Dior. I always feel like I'm talking about handbags when I say Dior.
But I think like going into that of like if you want to be a part of it, like this past week, Sean Hart, he released Squares, and like we had nothing to do with the release of Squares. I didn't know it was coming out. It just kind of got dropped on the Politics website, or on the Politics channel, and we just jumped in of like, I reached out to Sean and said, how can we help try to uplift this kind of political analyzer tool that you put together? He agreed to allow us to kind of integrate Buster with it to do a raffle. So we're giving away 1 million Buster tokens to one of the 74 people that completed their square and shared it publicly. I actually just asked ChatGPT to select the winner of that, and AZ Best is the winner, which I think
AZ Best.
they've won a few times. But I'll be sending over the 1 million Buster. But I think it's a really interesting tool. I know a lot of people have, like, for any of these tools, they're not perfect. Like, it's just asking you a few questions, putting you in these like big buckets of like, where do you fit on the spectrum? But if you go to the public squares data,
where's the
data squares that vote? I think it's really interesting and is going to be something that I hope we can continue to incorporate in the Politics channel. It gives a good overview of kind of where we are sitting as users and as casters. See if you can go to the visualization.
So this is everyone on Politics channel, right? The 74.
Yeah, so this is the 74 people that have completed the squares, and then where we kind of like, what is the spectrum of Farcaster right now? And we
can just keep adding squares over time, and users will just keep answering more and more questions.
I'm not sure if they're going to be adding, if he's going to be adding more questions. I think that would be great idea, but I think it'll be interesting to kind of see
Yeah.
how our political spectrum within the channel shifts. Like right
Yeah.
now, I think like that 32%, the majority, like we're very pro-abortion as a community. And I
Oh,
think like this is
I
a
was
really
trying to
interesting
interpret.
tool.
Wait, no gestational. I'm so dumb.
You're not dumb,
Oh
but
yeah,
there.
only total ban. Okay, yeah, I had these switched up.
So I think this is like a really interesting tool of it kind of shows at large where are we, and
Yeah.
I had some assumptions with our community that not necessarily held true. And I'm
Yeah.
sure a lot of other people had assumptions of kind of where we are on the spectrum. And I think it's also a good reminder of we have a very large spectrum already. Like we did not have universal agreement on any of these topics. We weren't in the 50%
Right.
of any of the questions. Uh, so yeah, I think just like as people continue to build political apps, like we want them to be ingrained in the politics
That's
channel. Like
brilliant. I didn't really understand what Squares was until I clicked on this and you started explaining it. But oh my, this is literally like a digital town Squares where you're not necessarily like projecting off of a soapbox, but you're kind of categorizing all your different opinions, and we're getting a data analysis of everyone's where you fall into different boxes. So as we grow the show, and maybe there will be a way that we can ask him this, but we can have a viewers only to the show. That way we can look at politics channel at a high point, but then our viewers will send them, and then it's just them in those results.
you should be able to see, it won't just be the viewers, but you should be able to see if you scroll all the way down on the actual, like
Uh-huh.
once you submit your squares, you can see everyone else's squares.
Your
And like
Squares. Okay. Answer
if
all.
you would submit that, so you can see kind of where I align politically, I can see where you align
Oh yeah, they
politically.
can just cast it, and then we'll on stream we can just have all of our viewers if they. Yeah, I can do it that way. Yeah.
But in the app it actually shows you. So they don't
Mhm.
even have to cast it. Like you can publicly just look to see Farcaster users where like what positions
Oh, if I see them in
do
chat,
they
I can
take.
just look them up. Okay, I
Yeah.
see what you're saying. That's easy.
So I think this
Oh,
just
maybe.
like speaks to what we're trying to build. Like we are not trying to own anything
Yeah.
in this political community. Like if you build something cool, we want to integrate it into what we're doing. We want to reward people for using it. And like I think that's where we're going to continue to grow. Is like
Yeah.
don't feel like this is Java Boo's or Jared's
No.
channel.
No.
Like we're trying to build something that people have co-ownership over. But yeah, I'm very interested kind of as we grow, as we continue. I think with new users, I'm gonna push for them to use the squares, for them to complete that, sending them Buster as like the initial kind of, if you did
Right.
this, we'll send you $1, $2 worth of Buster. Hopefully it's more as it goes up. And then we can really continue to get this like full understanding of what our community looks like.
Yeah. Ooh,
So yeah,
maybe a
that's
referral system would be dope too. If people can share the Squares mini app and get more people answering it, that's more. The referrer gets a little share of the Buster reward that we give to the person that finishes their Squares.
I mean, I'm down for however we can figure out to get more people to do this. But
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. I was really thankful that Sean allowed us, like, was open to us promoting it, trying to get more users. So AZ Best, I will send you the 1 million Buster tokens, which that actually does have a value
That's
right
pretty
now.
decent value. I know
Yeah.
what that rate is.
So keep it, hold it, sell it. It's really up to you. That's the other thing that I really appreciate with our community is they helped with that pre-sale of Buster, so we actually have
Yeah.
liquidity
Yeah.
behind the coin. So if you want to sell it,
It's there. It's liquid.
you'll actually
You're
make.
good.
But yeah, you can.
Yeah. Not a spam token. We promise.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping to talk about with Squares. But yeah, if anyone else has thoughts of apps they want to build, I know I've been in conversations with one person that's building a kind of take action advocacy app, so we're gonna be working with them. But yeah, I was so excited for having that as something that the community could be doing.
Okay, so we got Space Horse just said the reason I didn't use squares was lack of support for political imagination. There's no room for people who prefer a solution that isn't entirely centered around control by either capital or state. So maybe some new color squares can get added, and that's the benefit of Farcaster, man. There's such a good, rich, deep community of builders and developers that when you're active on Farcaster, and a lot more people need to start being brave and jumping into the replies or DCs of people that they admire, because a dev might look really, really impressive. Like, oh my gosh, he's made this mini app and it's so cool. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen. They become like a celebrity in their eyes. When in reality, it's probably regular old Joe Schmo who doesn't have that many people in their DCs or replies. Hit him up. I've met so many cool people just by reaching out, like you, to do this show, just by, just cause of Farcaster. And Politics Channel has definitely been my favorite big top of Farcaster channels. All the other ones feel a little too swamped, a little too washed out, and like there isn't enough attention or curation or labor and effort and care for how the vibes are, versus Politics is different. If you want, because a lot of people don't scroll channel feeds, they only do their home feed, and I think that's kind of sad. But the one I have notifications turned on for Politics. I scroll that stuff all the time looking for new people, looking for news and whatnot, because I don't really go to X or anywhere else for news. I guess YouTube and like Hassan Piker's streams on Twitch getting put on YouTube. That's mainly where I get my sources. But Politics has been a very, eye-opening experience for me, getting to engage with people I don't agree with, and we're just kind of chill and cool because I know he does better stuff. I know he does vibe market stuff. So we can I think that's kind of the culture of Farcaster that helps Politics be what we're wanting it to be. It is Christian rap. It is a little church vibes everywhere, but it's the cool church people. It's none of the weirdos, in my opinion, and I would know about weirdos in churches. I grew up at all of them. My family was very, very infamous in that realm of things, and I traveled the country. But Farcaster just is very welcoming, and people just vibe a lot better with each other, and they can agree to disagree, which you don't really get anywhere else. Because I like this person for being in the nerd channel, but their political takes I might, cringe at a little hard. But when I go into his replies, I don't want to dunk on him as hard anymore, because I actually do have a relationship outside of the political ideology, and no other algorithms kind of have that nice mix of the two for me. And yeah.
I definitely agree. I feel like we're all the people. I keep saying that all my online, like, I just have tons of online friends.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend makes fun of me because I talk more with my online friends than my real life friends. But yeah, reach out to us if you have any idea, if you want to support the channel. Like, we are actively looking for people to continue to grow. looking for people to like be a part of it. And I mean, all like every member of the politics team, like I have met them through the politics channel. I think we're going to talk about Polycast next, but like AO, I've never met him in real life. Like we just chat online. We were talking, like he's been a mod forever. We were talking about Buster, talking about like concerns of releasing a token if there's not utility. He just quickly responded saying I could build
Gotcha.
a Polycast or a Polymarket type app, and he just took the lead on that and really has been instrumental for us. I mean, has done all the work for us building the Polymarket app. Ideally, I think like the vision for Polycast is that we are going to start having kind of like in the weeds political questions. Like this is
Yeah.
my vision for it is that it is the like Politico's Polymarket. Yeah, you can have the higher kind of generalized questions. Like right now, we're pretty generalized of will Trump meet with
Xi
Z
Jinping
or
by
G? Yeah,
October 31st. Yeah, I've got him pulled up.
like that's a pretty like broad
Yeah.
idea. But there's a question I'm hoping to add today of whether or not Head Start will be funded and continue to receive funding with the government shutdown after
Yeah.
November 1st. Like you're not going to see that on Polymarket.
Yeah.
And you might not even know that that's something that's happening. But as we're building this and as we're having like these like deeper political questions,
Yeah.
it's not going to be the kind of outsider that's going to be taking kind of betting on these markets. It's going to be us that actually care about politics, that are in the weeds, that we are going to be able to wager on will the Governor Abbott in Texas, will he pass his legislative agenda?
Right.
And we'll pull up some of his kind of highlights that he said in the State of the State, and then we can wager on that, and we can make predictions on that, and really kind of not only kind of have us have the opportunity to wager, but have us be able to have these like deeper policy discussions and kind of go into what's actually happening, because so much legislation happens at the local state level, not that much happens at the federal level. I don't necessarily care whether or not Trump is going to pardon X individual.
Yeah.
I care about will this policy that's going to help a lot of people pass, will it not pass? Let's talk about that, because that's actually what matters.
And even beyond just the utility of being able to gamble in prediction markets, right? Market sentiment and that kind of data analysis is useful stuff. So if even just think of a world 1, 2, 3 years from now where Polycast is maximally successful, right? And you've got tons of predictions that are actually about Jared's local area. And let's say you're doing work on some advocacy. Well, if you threw up a prediction poll just to kind of feel the waters, well, that kind of does tell you a lot. It might, maybe in the future, it could say something about actual local constituents. But just as a broad, successful community far and wide, being able to, what does the zeitgeist feel about this thing? How much advocacy do we really need to be doing and prioritizing for? Or is this a set in stone issue? Are people, there's no sway on this and we're in the right, we're in the clear? This is probably some good data that politicians could be interested in if they're looking, okay, there's thousands of people trying to predict on issues. That's still an important thing, and it has meta utility beyond just the value of people exchanging Buster and winning Buster. I think it really does complement the channel as a whole, just like Squares does.
Yeah, I mean, prediction markets are the new polling.
Yeah.
Like I can see us getting to a spot where, I mean, even now, like people are not saying like, oh, what did X pollster say? It's like, look at Polymarket. What's Polymarket saying?
It's true.
The odds are for the governor or for the mayor's election in New York City. and that's where we're kind of getting, oh, this is where public sentiment is leading. And I cannot tell you how many times working in politics, I have had conversations with elected officials where I am saying, like, you should pass this policy. It's a good idea. I know people support it. And then their response is, well, what's the polling on it? And
Yeah.
polling costs so
Yeah.
fucking much
Oh,
that it would just kill the bill that I was working
right.
on because I couldn't afford the polling. Or we were trying to pass a ballot measure. And they're like, well, we'll only consider the ballot measure if we can see what the polling is going to be. We don't want to take the effort if it's going to not pass. And just the utility of being able to launch a polycast market and be like, 80% of people think that if this is going to move
Yeah.
forward or if this would be introduced, it would pass.
Right.
Like, just take that. It costs nothing
Yeah.
to do. And then we can use that as the predictor for a lot of these policies that we're working towards. Because there's so much public sentiment and support on these policies that our politicians just ignore. And if
Mhm.
we are able, and the polling is so hitting often of, I mean, I work in early childhood things, like childcare polls at like 80%. People really
Mhm.
like think we should be providing childcare for kids,
Yeah.
allowing parents to go to work, like things that shouldn't sound
Non-controversial
revolutionary.
ideas. Yeah.
But when we go and we talk to politicians about it, they just don't believe the public actually cares that much about it. But if we're able to like show this and be like, there's lots of buy-in, people are like,
Right.
caring about this issue, overwhelmingly supporting it, thinking it's going to pass, maybe we can start driving legislation. I think
You should.
kind of all
Yeah.
of this works together in a really unique way that I don't think is available to that's available in other communities.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about we can token gate creating new polycast questions with Buster? So you either earn Buster, because I love the flow, because I'm a gamer. I'm very online eternally, and how I love playing games is that balance between free to play and pay to play. That's where I think tokenization kind of has to be thought of. Is it's very, how do you fight against the farmers and the bots and the whatnot, and how do you actually get more of what you're wanting, and this case being political engagement and good faith discussion, right? And that could be something kind of like how Minted Merch token gates their collaborations, where they let you into a group chat. I think that would make a lot of sense for Buster if you hold it, especially because you like the Polycast app, right? Maybe you put in a couple bucks and then you prediction marketed your way all the way up to, let's just say it's 50 million Buster to hold, and then now you're in the group chat and you get to talk and discuss more about what the next question should be, and that helps do our work for us, but also doesn't, because if we loop something into the mini app, right, where it's like, oh, submit your prediction market here, well, we're gonna get swarmed by a whole lot of very low quality entries and submissions. But if people have that skin in the game, and that's that kind of floor for what the real Buster holders have, and that's kind of their reason, their incentive to keep it, is, oh, I love Polycast, I love making predictions. One thing I do is bet on buy a whole bunch of shares, and I love trying to either vote on new questions, criticize, discuss them, all that in the Token Gate group chat. And I like submitting them. And I think it would be cool. I think I said this in the group chat, but then we add that, oh, this prediction, this poll was made by this person. Maybe we loop them into some of the Buster rewards too, some of those fees.
We've offered that in the past of getting people to help us submit questions. That is one of the hardest things. But with version 2 of Polycast, like being able to do longer term questions,
Yeah.
it removes that barrier for
Mhm.
us. I definitely think it's something that we need to start doing kind of
Yeah.
as we're building everything out, especially as we are starting to look for these like deeper questions. Like, I don't know what's happening in your state legislature,
Right.
but if you can reach out to us, like once we continue to get more users in Polycast, that you reach out and you're like, hey, the governor just said he was going to pass this 10% tax increase to increase housing
Mhm.
in the state of Utah. Can we do a question, like a market on that?
Right.
Like, that is what we are looking for. Like, if a politician says they're going to do something, let's see if they do it. And I think that is where we're going to be going towards, is kind of how having the community help us know what's going on politically, help us develop those questions, and then for all of us to start being like, oh, what's going on in Utah?
Right.
Let's see if we can
Right.
understand this a little bit more than what someone else understands it, and get that edge. But the edge is really going to be us having this deeper political knowledge, in the same way that if you're great in sport, if you have a deep understanding of
Mhm.
sports, like you're going to kill Brackett and like Buster or
Yep.
Bracky. Like, we are following that with
I like it a
politics.
lot.
Like, that's
Yeah.
where we want to be.
Mm. Well, maybe moving on from Polycast to Cura, I've got the curated tab up here. I got Cameron and then you. So for everyone in the chat, this is Cura. It's an iOS app and a mini app and a website. If you're wanting to onboard non-Farcasters, the normies, as they say, I highly recommend, especially if you're into politics and they are as well, just send them an invite to Politics Channel from Cura. They'll get an FID and they won't get the algo or the home feed from Farcaster. They'll just get politics, which is all they really need to get going and kind of get acclimated into, the base universe, into Farcaster protocol. This is now my preferred method of bringing new people in, is figure out what kind of topic they're interested in and give them that channel that is well run. I would say there aren't a lot of channels remaining where the owners are still really active or the purpose of them still is clear, but politics is definitely the one you want to do. And we're both working very closely with Cura, and that team I think is going to be doing a lot. So they got Cura. You claim your weekly rewards down here at Token, and then you can see on the leaderboard for the next week, right?
It's going to be Think Forever, actually.
Yeah, I
Is
think
the
it
idea.
should be.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah,
it needs
if
to be
you-
timed.
If you use Cura, so
Let's
if you're
see.
posting the politics channel from Farcaster, that's great. Like, really appreciate it. But Farcaster is not built for politics,
Yeah,
or for channels. It's not built for politics.
right.
It's just the chronological feed. A lot of things get missed. Cura is where we're trying to go. Like, we are working very closely with them. Like, we have weekly calls where building together, trying to grow together. So if you cast via Cura, you will get 2 times the points for the leaderboard. So it's a nice way to kind of increase your kind of Buster rewards. You also, if you cast through Cura, you still qualify for the Farcaster rewards. So you don't have to like feel like you're missing out, like how you could potentially be missing out with the base token. Or not base token, if you cast from base.
Mm-hmm. We're still
And we
live.
also are going to be giving away an NFT to people who are casting this week in Cura. So make sure to do that if you care about NFTs. I know we have had lots of discussions on like how we're going to create some unique things for people that hold the NFTs that we've been creating. this is going to be another NFT that you're going to want to hold as we are building out kind of utility for each of them. And all you have to do is cast from Kira. It's not that difficult to do. I saw that you just did it right now.
Yeah, I'm seeing how quickly that 2x shows up. Dang
I
it.
think it's every it updates like every day.
Okay. So I'll be
Yeah,
able to
you're
see
not
it
gonna see
tomorrow.
it. Yeah.
But that's how you do it. It's that easy to start earning 2x points, y'all. And frankly, this is a much better experience scrolling the channel than on Farcaster because yeah, it's you got hot, you got Buster, you got top, new, curated, which I think our team needs to get a little bit more on top of the ball with doing that. But that's all early days stuff. I curated
And in the
this
future,
one.
we'll be letting people curate as well. So it's not just going to be the mods that are going to be curating.
Oh.
So if you want to qualify for that, like make sure that you are casting. It's going to be something that only top leaderboard people are
So
going to qualify for. So
smart.
you will get it one week. If you don't continue to be a great caster, you might not get it the next week. But that's one of the ways that we're not trying to own this algorithm.
Yeah.
Like, you all can uplift what you think is valuable. If it's something like crazy, we'll hide it. But like,
Yeah.
we don't hide that much. It's pretty like we're very free speech here.
We got John Bull, my son, tagged me as Degen comment, which is kind of true.
But I feel like we have been talking for a while and haven't really
Yeah.
talked anything like about politics. I don't know if you want to.
Well,
the
maybe
last
that's a
little
good
bit of
episode.
time.
Well, okay, no, we got the 3 casts that you sent me, so that can be our politics portion. We'll end it on that. So
That sounds great.
here's the first one, and can you still see my screen, or do you need me to read them out?
I can see your screen.
Okay, bet. For all the criticism ACA gets, it's made healthcare somewhat better, but we really got to end the privatization of healthcare to reduce these costs. Healthcare shouldn't be ran for shareholder interest. I think I know what my opinion is on this, but maybe you should start us out.
Yeah, I think I will say like every week we're going to try to kind of just find some casts for us to talk about, and then we'll be sending people Buster. So Augustus will be sending you Buster for this post. I mean, my big concern is the privatization of all these social goods. So I feel like I tagged this more for us to talk about kind of the ACA subsidies and them going away, potentially coming up with the government like the end of the year. The ACA is going to be having open enrollment starting, I think, November 1st, where everyone's going to be seeing if those subsidies go away, which is the result of the government shutdown, or kind of the reason why the Dems are
Gonna
not
triple
voting
the
to
cost
reopen
of your monthly and your deductibles. Like, whoo, it's looking pretty grim.
I think this is like, it doesn't seem like it's going to be resolved. There's a lot of Republicans that aren't supportive. They think they should expire. But healthcare, in my opinion, is one of the biggest issues that we have in our nation. Like, I recently had some like heart things going on. I had a procedure this past summer, and I got sent a bill. Like, thankfully I have insurance and I had met my deductible and did like all those things, but it was for $250,000. And it's just like, that is a house payment. And it was like, I was out that day after the procedure. I didn't even like stay overnight, and they sent me that bill. I just think it's something that we continue.
In the richest
that we should
nation
continue
of
to
the
uplift.
world, we should not be paying. I forget what the statistic is, but I think we pay globally like something like 70% of all healthcare costs are paid by Americans. It's
Yeah, it's
insane. I mean, I'm full single payer, party, but frankly, anything that gets us closer to lower costs. I mean, affordability, it all goes down. I've become very Zoran Mamdani pilled and less radical in my politics. I'm still very radical. I just understand, okay, I need to be a little bit more strategic and tactical. So that Zoran guy, he's got some good messaging to him. But affordability, affordability, affordability. If you're crunching all of your constituents for triple for healthcare costs, and that's not just going to result in, oh no, people have less money. No, that's dead people. That's 10,000 more dead people, I think, for every $1,000 it goes up in cost. Insane stuff. And the Democrats are trying to save the Republicans' constituents from the Republicans. And that is insane position to be in right now.
Yeah, I think the other thing I think about a lot with the debate that's happening in healthcare and the subsidies is there's this like push by Republicans to ensure that undocumented or illegal or whatever the term is that you want to use immigrants don't access healthcare.
Yeah.
And I think it's the dumbest debate that we can have because preventative care saves so much money
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
if you have a small issue and you just go
Yep.
to see
For
your
a
doctor
regular
and have
checkup,
that,
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it costs nothing. Like not nothing. It costs a decent amount, but like it costs the state so much less
versus
than if you
waiting
wait.
for it to be an emergency thing. Yeah, it costs nothing versus an ICU visit. Oh,
Yeah, and we legally, like hospitals, if they have if they receive Medicaid or Medicaid, either of them, I think it's Medicaid, they cannot turn away
mm-hmm.
patients. You have to serve everyone that comes into the ER, regardless of status, regardless of insurance coverage, and regardless of anything. And it's such a fake debate that we have of like we're standing up for your healthcare because we're not going to allow illegals to
It's
get these
so
benefits.
bad.
It's like
they know it's a lie.
like you're still paying for it on the back end.
Yeah, yeah,
And-
exactly. You can either pay less for it up front, or you can wait until we have to pay for it on the back end once they're done with their emergency room visit.
I get it. I get like you don't want to pay for people that didn't buy into the system. Like I get all these things of like we don't want to support lazy people. Like all these things. Like I get it.
I don't know.
It
Even the
doesn't feel
laziest
good.
people, my opinion is like, oh no, you're taking advantage of being a healthier person. Oh, how will society recover if you're healthy? No, it's like setting up all of your citizens for success, which means more tax revenue, which means more production. All these things that are good for even the richest, most powerful elites, right? You just gotta keep the cow
Yeah.
producing. Like it's gotta be good to go. But man, really trying to short-term think your way into greeding out more and more is insane thinking to me.
Yeah, it's just so short-sighted and not honest. Like,
Yeah.
the honest answer is
Yeah.
we can either pay for someone's health coverage on the front end and allow them to remain healthy, or we can pay for it on the back end at higher costs.
Right.
Like I was able to pass legislation that did this exact same thing that I'm describing because we were able to show the cost savings of preventing emergency room visits. And that's the honest discussion that we should have. Like where it's not whether or not we want to provide healthcare to people that you may or may not think deserve it.
Right.
It's where do you want to provide healthcare?
Yeah.
you
Where
want
and
to
when
provide
do you want it
healthcare?
provided? Yeah.
Yeah. At the ER, at the last moment where it costs the most, where you're doing emergency surgery, where all of these costs are
Yeah.
multiplied, or do you want to provide it at the beginning and you can just reduce cost savings?
Yeah.
Like timing and time, like I will always go with the cost savings.
Right.
And I think that's the discussion that we should be having.
I agree. I mean, shoot. Full agreement here. That's one
Yeah.
of the rare things where it's a very single payer healthcare, all that has very fiscally conservative arguments in data in favor of it. And I just don't know why there aren't more Republican politicians going trying to be like the populist Bernie Sanders message, because Trump absolutely messaged to not cutting any Social Security, not cutting any Medicare or Medicaid. But look how that turned out.
Yeah.
You know, 9-10
I mean,
months later. Yeah.
we're seeing Marjorie Taylor Greene. I just
True.
watched or just listened to that podcast. Like
She did.
is seeming like she is being more supportive, and I get it. Like, we don't like her.
Yeah.
She was crazy with a lot of things, but like, I don't know if someone's right about something. Then I'm
Yeah.
gonna applaud them for being right. Like, good
Yep.
on her
Credit
for
where
coming around
credit's
and being
due.
like,
Broken clock right twice a day, or for her case, once or twice a year. This was one of those where she and her Israel takes are getting a lot better. I'm so unfathomably surprised at her empathy for Palestinian children, and that she keeps bringing that up in the debate that I'm pro-Zionist. I love Israel has a right to exist, and October 7th was awful, but I just can't take any more of these videos or images of dead, starving babies. I'm like, yes, any little win, that's what we need. And then she's got the healthcare stuff now. I'm going, man,
I mean, immigration.
she must be
you're
reading some
talking about.
prediction markets to change her messaging, because she's going with the populist message.
I think it's the winging message.
Yeah.
What's the next one that we flagged?
Next cast by Perp. It's insane that liberals are calling Bernie Sanders a misogynist for saying that the Dems shouldn't run a 77-year-old candidate in a race where the establishment party choice has lost 6 times in a row to a vulnerable candidate, and just let one of the most energizing young voices in the party focus on the actual race. Rather punch left than defeat Susan Collins.
So what's your takes on this? Were you a Bernie bro back in the day?
Yeah, I
Like,
was.
still?
Still is more Zoran now, I would say. I got pretty disenfranchised in my interest in Bernie. I just got lukewarm on him. Didn't have as much enthusiasm as the years went on, but I mean, he's still based. I like his healthcare focus and that he sticks with that. I don't like how he doesn't have as much fight as I thought he had in him for how he speaks. So he kind of capitulates in the end, and that kind of consistently disappoints me. But you know, you take what you can get. I don't got that many candidates that I can really ideologically align with. I got 4 or 5, and then really just potential candidates like Plattner and who's the Texas guy too right now. There's Graham Plattner, and then there's another Texas one that has me pretty excited. But I mean, who beyond him, maybe, I guess there's no other senators really that I could care about at all. And then I guess the squad in the House, that's kind of all I really pay attention to. I've been getting a lot less excited about AOC over time, but she's kind of same feelings as how they dropped off for me with Bernie. She's kind of doing the same thing, breaking my heart.
Yeah. I think like for them, you just have to play within the party so
Yeah.
much because they just run everything. But yeah, I was the same. I mean, I was a Bernie bro. I was in Nevada. I caucused for him when there was like the throwing of the chairs, and when the party just like, I
You were
still to this
in
day
it.
believe that he won Nevada, but they just completely changed the rules.
Oh, sorry.
And caused him not to
No.
win. But I think Perp's take is right. Like, I think we are at the moment that the Republicans were with the Tea Party.
Yeah.
We want real candidates, or I guess I'm nonpartisan, but I do want real candidates. I usually caucus or do primaries with Democrats. But yeah, I don't understand how the Dems can continue. Well, I get it. They're a party and they want to keep themselves alive.
Yeah, but just
continue
create some
just to-
flanks. Like, why does it have to be one corporate, washed out, undiverse? You know, they just hedge your bets on multiple kinds of candidates. Like the Republicans have plenty of alt-right and libertarian. Like their coalition is pretty diverse. A lot of their people disagree with each other. This is a very loose coalition under Trump, but it spans quite a variety of people that wouldn't normally work with each other. Silicon Valley tech bros, plus the Christian evangelicals, plus, you know, I guess some middling, working class kind of nonpartisan people. That's pretty hard. And the Dems seem to go, nah, if you're not reading the New York Times and CNN 24/7, then you're just not our demographic. We're just not gonna go for you. I'm like, why?
Yeah. And I think, like, I mean, even thinking of when Hillary lost to Trump and then Kamala losing to Trump, like both of them, I just saw that they recently were speaking together and they kept blaming voters again. And it's like, can't you just realize, like, it's not voters. Voters would vote for you if you had a good message.
Yeah,
Like the
it's
reason
the
they voted for Trump is
antithesis
because
of
he had a
what
good
politics
message.
is. To blame voters. Blame voters. That's the name of the game, is getting voters. Don't blame social media strategy. Don't blame people just didn't want to show up, blah, blah, blah. Oh no, misogyny. I can't. You got to animate the people. You got to message them so that they care enough to go through all the arduous effort it does take, even though we like to think it's so easy. You got to get people to show up. They got to Pokemon Go to the polls.
Yeah, and just like when Biden was running, and then Kamala, like you could tell that people were dying, not dying literally, but dying
Yeah.
over inflation. Like they
Yeah.
were struggling to survive, and they still are.
Yeah.
And when Kamala responded of like, I don't want to change anything that Biden is doing, and then you expect people to continue to go vote when their lives are actively getting worse under your party's leadership.
Yeah.
Like you can blame thousands of things and why it got worse, and you don't need to take the blame. But the fact is that it did get worse, and you're just brushing that under the rug.
Yeah.
And I get I often get defensive of Trump voters.
Mm.
That I think a lot of people think Trump voters are just these racists that are voting for X, Y, like all these terrible reasons they voted for Trump. But if you were a mom and we saw a huge shift in women, we saw a shift in
Latino
of
communities, black communities, black
towards
young
Trump.
men was especially, yeah.
that if your life is worse, and yeah, I think Trump is a snake oil salesman.
Yeah.
He's selling you a better version of today rather than the Dems continuing to be like, we can't go back. We can't.
We can't
Do all,
change
like-
the institutions. No, the integrity.
It's like, no, it sucks. Right now, life is terrible for me.
Yeah.
I can't buy a house. I can't afford to pay groceries. I'm working 2 jobs to afford to send my child to childcare. I don't see my child enough. I'm burnt out. I can't afford health care. Like all of these things, and then your defense is like, we need the status quo.
Yeah, more status quo and
They're gonna turn out.
marginal changes. Like, $50,000 for small business tax credits. Yeah. Tell me more, Mamala. Like, come on. What else you got?
I do think that the Republicans are going to get killed in though, because they are doing a very similar thing. Like Trump keeps just gaslighting everyone and saying, "Oh, grocery prices are down."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
every single person that's bought groceries knows that they're not down whatsoever.
Oh, don't believe your lying eyes.
Yeah, and I think like this is just a thing that continues to happen with these parties. It's like, don't believe your checkbook.
Yeah.
Like things are actually not that bad. And I think like we're going to continue to see more populists come out. Like I think this is the winning message, and I think Perp is right. Like why the Dems are just going to keep losing to Susan Collins if they keep putting these like moderate people that just want to continue to keep the same old because it's what's been helping them.
All right, last cast before we end the stream. We got Bricks Bounty, and he's got an X post. Let's see this.
I think you can see the.
Looks like we get. Oh,
If you put both of it, you can see.
Oh, it's got everything on here?
Yeah.
Or I think maybe the second one goes a little further. Yeah, it's got a little bit more to it than what's in the preview.
But I think I picked this one because I think we're going to be seeing a shift away from taking APAC money. And I was just listening yesterday to the Breaking Points podcast, and I think this is like a signal through the noise of like if you are taking APAC money, it means that you are willing to get bought and your values will not, and you won't stay true to your values.
Yeah, you don't have principled values. Yeah.
And I just wanted to highlight this is like this is a shift that I think we're seeing of the Gaza Israel genocide might not be the number one issue, but I think it is the kind of that canary that people are going to be looking for.
Yeah.
And if you're still very aligned, and APAC or not APAC, I think it's like you're getting paid by lobbying groups that they are driving your decisions.
Right.
And I think we're getting to the point where that should no longer be the case. But yeah, it's going to really hurt the Dems in the future if they don't make a decision correctly to start rejecting those funds.
Have you seen or heard of the I've Had It podcast? And they just recently interviewed Cory Booker. And so very similar vein to what you were just talking about. And it's only a minute, so hold on.
Yeah, I did see that clip. Yeah.
Oh, you have seen it? Bet.
He's a war criminal, Benjamin Netanyahu. Do you think he's a war criminal?
I again, these are questions that a lot of people think are the important litmus tests that are loaded and hot. My urgency is to be an effective leader in bringing an end to this crisis. And I get these questions all the time that to me undermine my urgency. And
I think the thing that Democrats get so frustrated with, where we are right now, where you see like the Zoran Mamdanis and the Graham Plattners rise up, because they can go on podcasts and you can say, do you think Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal? And they just say, yes. And that's the end of it. It's not all of the rhetoric answering. It's like what happens to Democratic politicians, they go through this like prism, and then we can't ever get like the answer to yes or no conversations like you do with Bernie and others. And that's the frustration for the Democratic
base. Do I think Netanyahu is worse than Trump? Yes.
That's as close as we get. He's worse than Trump. I mean, and he says, oh, I'm an effective leader. Well, brother, if your messaging keeps falling flat, maybe that's not the effective messaging anymore. Maybe fence sitting is no longer the best strategy. And what you're actually telling us is, I have donors, I have constituents that are much more important than what the popular sentiment is that he obviously has to be aware of. You can't plead ignorance on this issue anymore, on what Americans feel about that issue. And you still, like so many top Dens continue to die on this hill for Israel? This Isra Hill? Like, come on.
Yeah, Gavin Newsom also was just recently asked
Mm.
a similar question. He was like, APAC? I've never even thought of APAC. Why would you ask me about them? And it's just like, I don't know. Like, be ready for the question. And also, I think like, what I vote for in a candidate is if I think you're going to do what you think is the right thing.
Mm.
And all of these candidates, like I voted for Republicans, I voted for Democrats. I try voting for people that I don't think are bought and paid for,
Mm.
and who will change their mind if they think it's
Right.
for the greater good.
Right. They're
And
open-minded
I-
and tolerant of change, which you need to be as these leaders, but so many seem to posture like, no, I need to stick with what I've been doing for as long as I've been doing it. And it's like, we're done with that.
Or they're just weather vangs. Like they
Yeah.
think, oh, like this is what they want me to say.
Ugh.
And I thought that we saw that in 2020 with all the criminal justice reform that all of the Dems were saying they were for, and then now they've completely jumped that ship.
Yeah.
It just, you can tell when someone is being told by pollsters what to say
Yeah.
and consultants what to say, and they're just keeping to that script.
Yeah.
Which is my biggest pet peeve. Like, honestly, I would vote for Thomas Massey. I would vote
Mhm.
for him every single time if I was in his district, because at least he will say like "F you"
Yeah. Yeah.
to his
yeah.
party, and that's better than his replacement who just like walks and does the same exact thing.
I know.
But yeah, biggest frustration.
That is
I
definitely.
think I had one last question on our agenda of just like
Mhm.
what's something that's been on your mind this week related to politics.
Oh, related to man, I really use politics to like distract my mind from my Farcaster hobby because I'll be like churning so hard and like reply guying all day that I don't really. I'm realizing now how like vicariously I pay attention. Like I watch and consume a lot of YouTube content, but I'm trying to think of what. Here, let me go into my history, and I can probably find. Oh, I don't want to do it on stream. Hold on. Because, yeah, I need to remind myself what's been happening lately.
If you don't have anything that's telling as well, I had something something
Oh, that
super deep in the
Zoran
weeds.
and Cuomo debate. Oh, that was insane. Andrew Cuomo had zero riz, zero motion. I don't know what he was trying to do the entire debate, going, well, the assemblyman, oh, well, he doesn't. I mean, bro, you were swinging so hard and just hitting air every time. Like no one was messing or vibing with that message he was doing that night. Oh, that was such an annoying debate to have to listen to. And Zoran crushed it like he always crushes it. He's got a formula. He's pretty damn good on his feet at messaging and coming up with one-liners that they're gonna make for some juicy clips. And Cuomo came off pretentious, elitist as hell. And then who was the Republican candidate at the debate? The Guardian. I'm the Guardian Angel. I know how to work with the NYPD. These guys don't know anything.
I didn't watch. That was yesterday's debate.
I think so.
I know
Yesterday or
Trish
the day
shared it. I
before.
didn't watch it.
Oh man, that was a good one. Oh man, and the group chat stuff. Oh my god.
With young Republicans.
You mean Big Balls and crew? Big Balls and company and Nazi company? Oh my gosh. What was probably the worst message that you heard from those?
I don't know. I clicked on it and then
Yeah.
just stopped like digging.
Did you hear JD Vance's response?
No, what was his response?
oh, who are we to try to ruin these young kids' lives and their professional careers for just some innocent boy locker room talk? Oh, and I'm not saying this because I would also say this if it were leftist in a group chat, which is the most asinine lie to say, because what was he messaging on Charlie Kirk's podcast and telling people to do was, hey, anyone posting about, anything negative of the historical legacy that was the saint and martyr himself, Charles J. Kirk. Oh, you need to lose your job. Maybe we'll look into investigating you as a hate crime, like blah, 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 blah. But then once it's their boys in the line of the crossfire, nope. Completely switch it up. It's just like how they treated January 6th insurrectionists. That really irritated me this week. Oh, man. The double standard. Hoo.
Yeah, that does not irritate me. I just feel like it's so baked in now that you have to expect it.
Yeah.
I get that. It's definitely frustrating.
How can they keep getting away with it though? Because I really, I don't understand how it's been 9 years of this, 2 terms. Well, I guess it's going to go on. Yeah, it's 6, and then we're in our 7th year. And I can't math at all. Whatever. There's been so much Trump presidency and Trump hypocrisy, Trump double standards, Republican. I guess I wouldn't even call it Republicanism anymore. We're really just in the Trumpist party, and I don't understand how it continues to work in an age of information where the clips are there forever. His truth posts are immortalized on across the entire internet. How is this not working against him? Like, how does it not deteriorate his reputation and his image of their integrity over time? I just can't understand it.
Yeah.
Can't fathom.
I think it's a tribalism. Like,
Yeah.
if it's your team, like, I don't know. I just think it makes me think of sports, that like everyone that's not an Eagles fan hates the tush push. And Eagles fans fucking love the tush push. And they're just gonna always love it. And I think, let's say, like, Chiefs fans love that the refs are just like laying them way all the time. Like, if it's your team and they're doing things that could be bad and they're cheating, like, you're just gonna love it. And I think I'm going back to the
They're
politics.
winning. So everything's good. They're winning. We're not tired of winning yet. It's so much. Oh, we love it.
They are winning. Like, they are currently. I mean, if you're just looking at straight party, not your actual outcomes.
Yeah.
But like, wow, look at them own the libs. Like, yeah, you're gonna like that, and you're gonna continue to like it until at some point it might become too much.
Yeah.
But if Eagles fans won 5 Super Bowls and they only ran the tush push, they'd love it. Like, they're not gonna get over it. And I think that's the same thing with any other like party. Like, I mean, look at the Dems. Keep saying we. That's where I used to lying. But like Gavin Newsom, I don't love that he's mimicking Trump, but people are liking that because they're like, look at him, he's being hard, like being tough, like
he's
Trump.
fighting. Wow.
Yeah, and like top 50 of how they're going to redraw the map so they can fight back against the Republicans. Like, it's on both sides. It's so tribalist of, we're willing to like disenfranchise people because we're gonna win today. Right. And we just stop looking at this big picture, because it's if the Republicans lose, we win. When in actuality, it's like, we actually are both losing. We are using gerrymandering so much that we're going to have full states that no longer represent people that live there. I mean, not that it's perfect now, but it's just getting worse.
Just deteriorating more? Oh, great. Yeah, that's the direction.
Yeah, and the Republicans are selling out Dems in their state, and Dems are selling out Republicans in their state, and both of them are cheering,
Yeah.
and it's just continuing to bring us down until at some point, I think it is happening, people need to realize that the teams that they're rooting for are not operating in our best interest.
Right.
And until then, I think we're just going to keep going down this of take down those those libs, take down
Yep.
those Nazis or
Take 'em.
whatever.
Those fascists. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well,
just a zero-sum game that we're getting to.
maybe
I
on
did want to
that
share-
note, though. Oh, you had something else to share?
Yeah, I had one thing in the weeds that it's
Oh.
very in the weeds, but I just wanted to share because it's been bothering me for a while. I was talking to a child recently, and they give out childcare subsidies,
Mm-hmm.
and which help reimburse both the providers and then pay for childcare for their children or
Mhm.
for the children that they're serving. And they just told all of the providers with like a 3 weeks notice that they're cutting their reimbursement rate by like, I think it's like 30%. And all of the high quality centers are the ones that are going to get hit the hardest,
Mm.
and they're completely losing the reimbursement rate. And I just wanted to like uplift that as
Yeah.
like, we talk so much about these like big government level things, but there's like so many decisions. This was
Yeah.
a Department of Health and Human Services administrative decision that is going to affect thousands of kids in that state not being able to either go get childcare. The providers are going to have to lay off
Mm.
workers. All of these things are happening because an administrator just decided that they wanted to change up the policy.
Mm.
And I'm sure most people didn't hear about that. These
Yeah.
like providers are coming together. They're doing like story collection. They are trying to really kind of uplift the news of how that's impacting them. But I think it's just a good time to pause and like take steps away from
Yeah.
the national conversation and like maybe look to see what's happening in your state. Like, are there small things that are like completely destroying the lives of individuals that you could start supporting and getting kind of
Yeah.
getting tied into and kind of working towards? I'll cast about it so you can see that story, but
Yeah.
wanted to uplift it. It was just
That's
people
that
get
sounds like
impacted
the
in many different
politics
ways.
stuff that we want most on the channel, where I think the natural headline stuff will find its way onto our feed. We don't got to encourage that, but that is, I would love to learn about local politics through the lens of the casters that I care about, because I think that puts an extra level where why would I want to know or even engage with a post like that? But it's coming from Java Boo and it's their local place. Like, now I kind of have that vested interest just with the relationship between casters, and I can see Politics Channel being a lot better place for that kind of local news, and hopefully getting all that news makes you want to get involved, and then you start casting about it, and we'll be tipping that as the top quality of content. Go find the headline, guys, curate all that stuff, but I would say the unique, local, involved IRL, especially the more it has to do with your own personal experience, those are the casts I want to see the most in Politics Channel.
Yeah, give us the deep cuts.
Give us them.
And let's talk
deep
about that.
cuts.
Let's talk about the real issues.
Yep. Agreed. Well, I guess that's a good ending. And bye, Buster, cast in Politics Channel. Let's make this a real place to have good faith discussions. Let's be the realist online. Any other closing remarks for you, Java?
No, we'll be back next week. I think we're switching to Thursdays.
Yes,
But we'll
that's how.
keep you all looped in.
Perfect. Thursdays, I think we said, is it 6 p.m. Eastern time or 5 for you that you wanted?
I think 6. I don't know. We'll cast
coordinate
about
it.
it.
We'll say
yeah, we'll
6
do
for
better.
now, and if it happens a little earlier, people can be surprised by that. But next week, Thursday at 6, we'll see you then. And I'll probably upgrade a lot of the production for this stuff. So it'll be a whole different look for the second show. This was kind of the initial one. Thanks everybody in chat for showing up. And let's scum together for politics. Thanks for coming on, Java Boo. I'll see you next week.
Yep. Talk to you later.